It's time for the Cover Price Top 10. We're taking a little bit different look. We're going to look at the titles, see what's there for books that have some history, see where they sit in the marketplace. Which books might you want to jump on and which might you want to avoid? Up next on this video from Bronzeville Comics. Hey there, panelologists. This is Jim from Bronzeville Comics coming to you with another video. Before we get started, like, comment, subscribe, do that, all that great stuff, notification bell, share. Follow us on other social medias, Instagram at Bronzeville_comics, whatnot, Bronzeville_comics. We do sales every Monday night at 10 p.m. Eastern time. And if you're not yet signed on to whatnot, you can sign up and get $10 off your first purchase, regardless of who it's with, if you use the link in the description of this video. Also in the description is a link to my eBay store as well as my email. So I've been doing this for a few weeks now, breaking down the Cover Price Top 10. And these are the books that have the most sales in the last week. So a couple of interesting things. We're coming off the heels of New York Comic-Con, and that does impact our list quite a bit. Maybe even more so than a Jets-Chiefs game on Sunday Night Football. Let's look at number 10 on the list, and it is Duke #1 from Image Comics, a recent G.I. Joe book, which is the New York Comic-Con Energon panel giveaway. This shared universe, Transformers, G.I. Joe, etc., is become a very hot property over the last several months. Tyler Kirkman's involved. You see the near mint copies raw going for 72. There's nothing graded yet. If we look at its availability, so this is a Duke 1 NYCC Energon panel ash can. I just want to see what's available. Duke 1 Energon NYCC panel ash can. But we're discovering this at the same time, taking you along for the ride of what I'm looking at when I'm looking at these books. Would you want to pick something up? The kind of the moral story is if you go to New York Comic-Con, go to a panel where they may be giving out some free comic books. Yeah, 75, auction at 20, auction at 10, 100, 99.99. So it doesn't seem like it's necessarily going to. Oh, wow. Oh, this is signed with COA in hand. That's at 130. Okay, that's why. Auction at 60.95. So it's pushing at least what the asking price is getting closer to 100. I have no idea what the future of this book holds, but these New York Comic-Con exclusives, and this is more than just like a foil reprint of, a Silver Age book or something, which they did, or a modern book, which they did a lot of. This is a new property, so that might be something interesting if you're interested in G.I. Joe. But I have no idea how this value will hold up long term. Number 9. Here we are. Transformers #1. This is the foil 1 in 100 that came out the beginning of the month. And we see a 9.8 selling for $377. Raw book selling for north of 100. I mean, it is a 1 in 100. So $100 is probably appropriate on that. Somebody got it for $249. That's a good deal. So this is Transformers 1, a variant, Ian Bertram 1 in 100. Transformers 1, Ian Bertram 1:100. I want a graded book. I actually don't want a book. I want to look at what eBay has to offer. No sales of a CGC 9.8. I mean, one would have had to have gotten one out pretty quickly. That might be a pre-sale, pre-sales of 9.8s, but we see a couple of pre-releases of number 2 and 3. Yeah, we have. I mean, look at already there are a ton of San Diego variants and so on. mean, for a new book, there's a ton of covers. Scotty Young, web store, 145. Yeah, go to Scotty Young's. I mean, this property, along with GI Joe, is trending very hot. Let's look at number 8. And number 8 is Batman and Robin, number 2. The first, I think this is the first appearance first cover appearance of Shush. That's why she's holding her finger to your mouth. She's telling you to be shush. I don't know if she worked with Barbara Gordon in the library, maybe. Is that it? Near mint copies are going for about $38. Obviously, nothing has been slabbed yet. It's the Leslie Lyrics Lee 1 in 25. I don't know if cover A, the regular cover does have her on the cover as well. So it's not as though the variant is her first cover appearance. Interestingly, I guess this is a cover B. Francesco Mattina has got a bubblegum cover. We talked about that last week, but oops. Let's see what these are going for on eBay. Oops, that's not eBay. $70 asking price, bid for $650 with 5 days left. $50, $40, $70. Pre-sale of $50. So it is a hot book going for, I would say about $40 right now is the appropriate price for that. If you want to pick it up brand new, I don't know if you can get it at your shop. It did come out last week. Let's go to number 7, and this is an old friend. Lobo number 1. This is his first solo series, a mini series by the late Keith Giffen, Alan Grant, and Simon Bisley. And obviously, there's been more churning of the rumors that we're going to see Jason Momoa as Lobo. I don't think we're going to get any confirmation until the Aquaman movie has been out in theaters for a little bit, because they don't want to kind of steal the thunder from the Aquaman character. I don't know what they're going to do with Aquaman. He's one of my favorite characters. Honestly, I'm never a big fan of Lobo, but I did pick up 2 copies of this high grade Lobo number 1s. Hopefully, I'm going to submit both of them. Let's see where that book has been going. It is a $10 book raw, which is what I bought it for. But you can see fair market value is $120, last sale $153. So it seems to be ticking up with more excitement about the announcement. There are plenty of these out there. It's not a hard book to come across, but it does have a very black cover, which makes a 9.8 a little more challenging. Although that being said, there are 1,279 universal copies. Half of them are 9/8. There's a solo 9/9. The 9/8, if we look at the trend here over time, this kind of went up at the beginning of the comic boom to $267. It had been under $100 for most of its life. And then it went up, the comic boom, and was kind of jumping around 200 for a while. And then it has settled back down, but it's had its ups and downs as there's been more and more speculation that we will see Jason Momoa portraying that character in the DCU. And look here, you had an auction, right? Fixed prices in October between $100 and $125, an $88 fixed price. Somebody got a nice deal there. And then an auction went for $153. So that's jumped up the fair market value a little bit. But if we go back, I guess, to the last round of rumors regarding Jason Momoa playing the character, I'm trying to get the sold price. Well, a net value of $165. It was over $150 somewhat recently. So this has been a little bit of a roller coaster book. There are a lot out there. I don't know if you need to jump on a 9/8. Like I said, I got a couple of raw copies for $10 each. If I could get one of them at a 9/8, I'd be happy. And, that would be a pretty good deal. Let's move to number 6 on the list. And here we go again. Transformers number 1. This is the New York Comic Con Big Clutch foil variant. Holy moly. Selling for about $100. But look at this, a 10.0 for $1,100. Foil, you can get a 10.0. That is the only graded sale that we see. These New York, somebody had that pre-slabbed. I mean, it's not like you picked it up in New York and got it slabbed that quickly. I don't know where that 10 came from, but let's see. Let's see what's available on eBay just for giggles. I'm trying to find the there it is, the foil exclusive, $95, 54, minor corner issue. Okay, an auction at 70. So we're looking for the foils. I don't think we're going to see any CGCs available. No. So we're going to have to wait on that one. But $1,100 for a 10.0. Wow. Let's go to number 5. And an oldie but a goodie. Well, no, actually, I'm sorry. It is not. It's another DC Universe exclusive. It is the Spawn panel. There were only 250 given. And it's been selling for, I saw a $500 sale. So like in that $400 or $500 range. Somehow somebody's bought one in 2013, 10 years before it came out for $250. Glitch in Covrprice. I'm sure these will be submitted. I know somebody who got like 3 of them. Yeah, there's only 250. I think this book, Spawn, is popular enough for it to hold its value. If we wanted to get a copy right now, I'm sorry. If we wanted to get a copy right now, Spawn panel NYCC. Spawn's Universe Sampler NYCC. Yeah, up for $525, auction at $285, auction at $400, $1,500. That's kind of ridiculous. $500 seems to be about. You could probably, I mean, you can get it for a little bit less. Obviously, there are people who want to kind of undercut everybody else a little bit. If people going for $500, you go for $480. You can move it quickly. And I don't know if you had to pay anything for this. So that $400 or $500 seems to be about what it's going for right now. One interesting thing, it was limited to 250. And if we go here, right, there have only been 12 units sold. So that is somewhat interesting. Let's move on to number 4. Dazzler number 1. Oh, there's a surprise. Dazzler made the list. I mean, it looks like the FMV is going up a little bit. Still a plentiful book. We've talked about it before. It's been around for a while. It was the first direct-only book that Marvel printed. There were plenty of them. There are 1,400 universal copies, 344, almost a quarter of them are 9/8. But the Swifties, I mean, the movie just came out. Look at this book. This is like the inverse of what's happened with every other key, especially a key from 1980, right? Is it 80 or 81? 1981. It's going against the trend. It just keeps going up and up. And yeah, now, I mean, last sale, even since we last sold it, they were about 200. Now we're getting close to 250 as a fair market value. And that's not even her first appearance. The X-Men 130 did not make the list, but it looks like the Swifties are out in force, or at least, I don't know if the Swifties are buying this comic, the Taylor Swift fans. Like, how much do they really know about like a comic that may or may not be her, right? It's not like they're like, oh, I heard the rumor that she's going to play the Dazzler. I think it's the speculation. So the FOMO is strong in this one. I'd be careful. I wouldn't be spending $200 some odd on a 9.8 of this. That's for sure. If I found a reasonable, like high grade raw 20 or less bucks, 15, 20 bucks. Yeah, may see if I could get a 9.8 out of that. But I'm not going to go out of my way for this book because if the Swifties don't jump and say, I need to have the Dazzler comic book, right, graded in 9.8, then maybe not so good long term for this. Number 4. I'm sorry, number 3. That was number 4. Omega Men number 3. Oh, wow. This is an old favorite as well. And is it just me, or if we see Jason Momoa portraying Lobo on the big screen, I want him in this uniform. First appearance of Lobo. Recent sales, we're talking about, 150 to low $200, 9.8s in the mid 300 range. Let's take a look. This book has been, again, this is the book. It's more speculation than actual news. And the longer the speculation gets stretched out and that to the point where it's stretched out over a period of time, but it isn't debunked and people still believe that it's coming, that's like where the FOMO kicks in and the value starts to really ramp up. So Lobo's always been a pretty popular character, but it's this like the sale of $395, $390. We're getting close to $400 on this book. Again, look at an inverse relationship. So sold, it was always selling in the $200 range, right? Even back like 160, and then it jumps up to 200. I don't think that had anything to do with the character's appearance in the Krypton sci-fi series. But then, like a comic boom, all of a sudden went up to $400. And it's kind of stayed there. Like it cratered down in October of 2022, and then it jumped up. And I believe this was when the speculation first came out that Momoa was going to play the character. And then it's tailed off a little bit. And then we have a little uptick, like, I guess this week, where, again, we're going from, low to mid 300s kind of towards high 300s for the book in a 9.8. Let's look at number 2. Number 2 is American Psycho #1, this business card variant. It's a wraparound that looks like a business card. And if you saw the movie, it is kind of a cult favorite. It's based on a novel that I was interested in, like, what happens if we call this phone number? Obviously, it's a 555 number, so it is not 212-555-6342.
Welcome to Verizon Wireless. Your call cannot be completed.
Oh, they didn't even do a promotional thing on there. So it's a 555 number. It's not a real number. This is a new series from Massive. I know Comic Tom has a Christian Bale photo cover variant that is coming out in his mystery box. A lot of these, the art certainly looks like Christian Bale. A lot, the film still. Christian Bale there. So this does have a loyal following. A lot of units sold of this book. And I guess maybe the business card is the most popular. It's going for above 50 and a 9.8. Too soon yet to see what's happening long-term with this book or in terms of graded sales. And American Psycho 1, let's see what we can get on eBay. Yeah, bids buy now for 48, 50, 50. That seems to be the going rate for that book. Again, I'm not sure. It's like gone in reverse of most spec. It's already been a movie. And so it's going to be, is there any news on that? I mean, in terms of like a series, and I can't imagine one. I mean, this is the first appearance in comics. It was a book, it was a movie. '81 novel, 2000 film. There's American Psycho 2. Direct-to-video sequel. Anyway. We're developing in 2013. Developing is presumed has been canceled. Yep. I don't know what the long-term value of this is. I mean, I guess if you're into the film, the business card scene is kind of iconic. But I don't see this having long-lasting appeal with a broad base of collectors. Let's go to number 1 on the list, and we kind of previewed it earlier. It is Duke number 1 with this Cobra Commander spot foil. So we're talking about two things: Energon Universe and New York Comic Con foil, limited to 1,000. Now, this is interesting because it's limited to 1,000, and we've had 302 units sold, which means almost a third of all of the available books have gone to recorded sales in the secondary market. I'm not necessarily convinced that the limit was actually 1,000. I don't know if they were numbered. Let's check out eBay. I think one of the things you might want to consider, and I'll look at it in a second. Let's get rid of that foil. There we go. $100 buy it now, $85 buy it now. 10 bids of 44, 80, 100, 56 on an auction, 125. So you're going to have to probably pay close to $100 for this book if you want it off of eBay. I didn't pick up one at New York Comic Con. I didn't really pick up any variants at New York. And I'm not a G.I. Joe guy. Now, what's interesting is this is titled Duke, and his first appearance is in G.I. Joe number 22. There we go. First appearance of Duke and Roblox. You can get it for 10 bucks, right? 9.2. I don't know. Are there 9.8s available? I imagine the 9.8 is a little bit pricey. $100 you have to, somebody's asking for. Let's check out G.I. Joe 22. The space out, that's not going to work. G.I. Joe, a real American hero 22. I probably have copies of this somewhere. Probably should dust them off if this is. So 9.8, yeah, you see that $1,500. $2,000, nothing, no sale in the last year. One did sell. I mean, look at the comic boom. And we'd have to kind of go back before that. But the book hasn't sold at all in the last year. And it was selling pretty considerably before that for well above the 216. If you see one, you might want to grab one. You're not going to pay $1,500 for it, I don't think. But it looks like there's only 234 graded. A sixth of them are at a 9.8. So that is number 1. The Duke number 1 Cobra Commander spot foil New York Comic Con. So New York Comic Con foil, Energon Universe, and of course, Dazzler and Lobo are dominating the list. So let me know what you think about the list there. Do you have any of these books? Did you get any at New York Comic Con? Any of these exclusives? Really, both the Duke Ash Can and the Spawn Sampler were at panels. So note to self, panels might be the place to go in the future. You can get some hard to find books. And so, and I also said in my recent video, I think next year I'm going to go to a couple panels just to have a place to sit down during New York Comic Con, because it's very hard to find a place to sit down. Most people like sitting on the floor having their lunch. So at any rate, thanks for stopping by. You can take a look at a couple of my other videos here And this is Jim saying until next time, enjoy your comics.